because I tried to go live like 10 times an hour ago and didn't manage to do it. I'm probably going to plug my microphone in now. And then we're going to get on to making top trumps cards. So I can see there's one person watching the stream. So to the one person watching the stream, who would you like to make a top trumps card about? Okay. Who should we make top trumps about? By the way, I will post it on the community tab immediately after this stream ends. Okay. So, who do you want to make a card about? Hey, listen, if no one wants to make any suggestions, I'll just, you know, I'll pick somebody, okay? You know what? Time. I've let you all pick stuff. Time for me to pick one. No, let me just find. I should probably find. Okay, I found the top trump cards, and I am going to make a top trumps card about two people watching now. Who are we going to make a top trumps card about? Okay. I think that we should make a top trumps card about Winston Churchill. How about that? Because we haven't done Winston Churchill yet, but he's quite an interesting fellow. Okay? No, clearly nobody disagrees with me on that point, so we're doing him. Okay? Mikolaj Konopaki. And by the way, tomorrow we're going to do a Kahoot stream, okay? Damn it. I was writing down Winston Churchill's name and I accidentally wrote Wikipedia for some reason. Winston Churchill. Alright, Winston Churchill. What was Winston Churchill's influence on history, okay? Because in my opinion, the main thing that Winston Churchill did to influence history was he convinced Britain not to talk peace terms with Germany. And that's the thing. I think Britain, I'm not saying Britain really wanted to surrender Germany and Winston Churchill talked them out of it. But he is probably a big influence in the decision not to do it. Britain may have decided not to surrender to Germany, you know, without it. But let's say hypothetically, okay? Let's say hypothetically, for example, that Britain would have definitely surrendered to, or at least made peace with Germany if Winston Churchill had never existed, okay? That massively influences history. The Cold War, okay, and the Cuban Missile Crisis never happen, okay, if Winston Churchill can't talk Britain out of surrendering, okay? Germany is left in control of northern France. Southern France is a puppet of them. They control Norway, Denmark. They control everything. But on the other hand, Britain may or may not have actually surrendered without him, but I still want to give Winston Churchill a really high score, okay? So, what do you think, okay? 6, 7, 8? How should we rank Winston Churchill? Give me a second, I just have to get my water bottle. I have my water. My water, right. Damn it! So I knocked my stuff off. Okay, so how do you want to rank Winston Churchill, everybody? I have my water bottle. This bottle's huge, by the way. Okay. I think we should give Winston a 7, personally. Has anybody got any suggestions? Because I want to give Winston a 7. Siema? Hi, Noman Omen. I don't know what Siema means. But I think I should give Winston Churchill a 7, if that's alright. I'm gonna give you 20 seconds to disagree. Okay, yeah, Mikolaj? Mikolaj, what do you think? Okay, you know what? Siema? I don't know what Siema means. This is okay, so this is probably some prank. You put 7. I put 7. By the way, can somebody tell me what CMA means? Because I'm convinced it's just some practical joke you're doing on me. Tactics. What is Hey, Queenie. All right. And now, what was Winston Churchill's tactics like? So, with most world leaders, we don't really know what their tactics were like because they never personally commanded a battle. Therefore, we can only rank them on strategy, not tactics. However, what's going on? So basically, we're creating top trumps cards of different historical figures. So, for example, we chose Winston Churchill here, and we ranked his influence on history as a 7. So now we're using tactics, okay? And the thing about Winston Churchill is that he actually personally commanded in the Boer War. Okay, so we now have to decide. Okay, how good was Winston Churchill at command in the Boer War? Because the greatest thing he ever really did was he broke out of a prison camp. So, ladies and gents, does anybody know anything about Winston Churchill during the Boer War and how good his tactics were? Your cat just jumped out the window. Wow. Was it okay? Was it okay? Now I personally don't know much about. He did Gallipoli as well, but did he personally command at Gallipoli, or did he just order the attack? Because I feel like he pushed for the attack on Gallipoli, he convinced it, so we should lower his score. Yeah, okay. I just want to do a quick little Google search about Winston Churchill. Oh, your cat just got ran over, did it? I kind of hope you're trolling me. I hope you're trolling me. Can I be mod? Vugo, can you be mod? No, not really, because I'm not going to hire a mod yet. Or not hire. I'm not going to get a mod yet until I have too many spam commenters. If I get like loads of spam commenters, it becomes clear that I have to get rid of them. Then yes, I'll hire a mod. But until then, no, I won't be having a mod. You know. But you know, keep hold that thought, because when I'm like really famous, I probably will have to get a mod. Okay, so give me a second, everybody. Let's do a quick Google search about Winston Churchill. Oh man, sorry. You're not joking, Queenie. You're not joking. Wow. Well, I hope your cat is okay. I think you should probably be running it to a vet rather than commenting on a live stream. But thanks for the engagement. Okay, how good were Winston Churchill's tactics during the Boer War? Googling. You're going to shout me out anyway? You have 12.3 thousand subs. Well done. Okay, I will check your chat. Thanks for saying. I will check your channel out after this, okay? But thanks for the shout out. Okay, so it's dead. Your cat is dead now. Okay, okay. Sad about that. All right, ladies and gents, give me a second. Now, Winston Churchill actually had a really famous incident during the Boer War. There's probably a YouTube short about it. Winston Churchill Boer War train incident. Give me a second, okay? You're excited. Why are you excited that your cat is dead? Okay, Queenie. Well, you're making the stream. You're making the stream, okay? By the way, does anybody know the Winston Churchill armored train incident? I'm just looking it up. So I'm just going to quickly skim read the. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, bye. Okay. So I just did a quick skim read of like an article, okay? Here's what Winston Churchill did. So basically, Winston Churchill, right, was on an armoured train fighting on the Boer War, but then the train was attacked and ambushed and derailed by the Boer forces, okay? So Winston Churchill, disregarding any and all, disregarding everything, basically, he first commanded the group of people who got the train back onto the track. So once he'd gotten the train back onto the track, he loaded the wounded onto the train and he sent the train off. The train escaped. Oh no, you're not. No, you're not leaving us. Sorry, BBB. I thought that meant bye bye. So he sent the train off. So the trains escaped. So Winston Churchill went back to join the soldiers who were trying to defend the railway line. Bam, bam, bam. Even though he knew that they had no chance of holding out. So they all got captured, and then Winston Churchill escaped. He escaped with two other people. Two other people got caught or just decided not to and returned. Winston Churchill escaped. It means something else, does it? Okay, I'll probably look it up later or something. So, tactics, okay? Does that influence anybody's opinion on Winston Churchill's tactics? Or I think that definitely shows bravery, but I don't think that shows tactics. So, let's give the final verdict. What do you think we should rate Winston Churchill for tactics? Ladies and gents, I want to give his tactical skill... Well, I don't know anything about it, so... Okay. You know what? I'm Winston Churchill 5 for tactics, okay? Now, how good was Winston Churchill's strategy? Now, Winston Churchill's strategy, minus 400. You want to rate minus 400 on Winston Churchill's strategy? Well, that's not a thing we can do. The lowest we've ever given somebody on anything is a 0. But we obviously know a lot more about Winston Churchill's strategy because he commanded the entire war. Am I in primary school? No, I'm in secondary school. So yes. So let's hear some opinions about Winston Churchill's strategy, okay? Winston Churchill's main strategy in World War II was to never surrender. Was to never surrender and attack the South, okay? He was completely advocating an invasion of like Greece and the Balkans and Italy, okay? And southern France. And was that a good strategy? Because ultimately, it was, well, the German war effort collapsed the second they lost the Battle of Kursk. So can I hear some opinions about Winston Churchill's strategy, please? Because I don't want to carry this. Why did I pick my note? Because it was itchy, okay? Can I please have some opinions about Winston Churchill's strategy? Is it my dream to be a history teacher? It isn't actually. It's my dream to be a history YouTuber. But anyway, so cool. So can I hear opinions about Winston Churchill's strategy, or should I just pick myself? Okay, I want to put Winston Churchill's strategy as a 6 or a 7. Before World War II. So 2 after 7. Okay. Do you think he was a 7? We have to do an overall thing because Gallipoli was a terrible strategic blunder, right? But so that okay. So that I assume that's why you're rating him a 2. 4. But you know what? Let's give him. Let's give him a 4. But I think we're ignoring a very simple fact. He won both World War II, okay? And you can't really win World War II without being that good, which is why I gave him a little bit of a 5. But how good was propaganda skills? I kind of want to rank Winston Churchill highly for propaganda because Winston Churchill, okay, convinced was just like, he was good at everything. He won everybody over, okay? He convinced like the entire nation of Britain to go to just completely continue the war until the end, okay? Nobody ever considered surrendering. And granted, I think the Nazis contributed to that. They bombed Britain the entire time, and that sort of made the British so angry they wanted to, keep going. Hold on, you need a wee. I don't need a wee, buddy. Maybe you need a wee. So propaganda skills, I want to give him good for that. We're going to give him a 9 for propaganda. One of Winston Churchill's best propaganda tactics. Well, not One piece of propaganda that the British made in World War II was, oh, what was it called? Oh yeah, it was "We'll catch him unawares." Underwears. Like for example, it was basically it was a drawing of Hitler, and "We'll catch him underwears." You have to see it to believe it. Sorry. And finally, what was Winston Churchill's political skill? Now, Winston Churchill's political skill was good enough that he helped convince America to join in, although I think Japan is mainly blamed for provoking the American attack. 9 for political skill. Now, I'm curious to that. Can you give some examples of some good things that he did, okay? He had some good... I recently read a book about World War II. Now, the book was quite biased against the Americans, but, it said that all the major decisions of the war were made by Roosevelt, Hitler, Stalin, and Churchill. So how good do we think his political skill was? Can you please give some reasons? What did he do, Connor Packey? Okay, I'm gonna give him nothing. Okay, I shall be giving him, because he did manipulate his way to get the job of the United Kingdom. So he convinced everyone to choose him after Gallipoli. That's quite impressive. So we're gonna give him an 8 for that. I was going to give him a little bit lower than that, but you said 9, so I thought I'll bring it up. Okay, that's Winston Churchill. I'm aiming to get 5 done today. Gallipoli. So Gallipoli. Okay, Gallipoli was an attack that happened right here. Okay. Basically, it was during World War One. Britain, France, Australia, and New Zealand were at war with the Ottoman Empire. So they invaded this location to try and take the Ottoman capital city of Constantinople, but it failed. It was one of the most disastrous and failed Allied defeats of the war. It was a humiliation, especially because the Allies expected to win easily. That's Gallipoli, and that's the thing. Winston Churchill. That was Winston Churchill's idea. That attack was Winston Churchill's idea, which is why he typically gets made fun of for that a decent amount. So who are we doing next after Winston Churchill? Mao Zedong. That's a good one. We haven't had Mao Zedong suggested before. I can remember. This is the 4th time I've ever done these Top Trump streams. Okay, and in one of them, one of the most requested people that we had was me. I'm like, how can we do you're the queen? Okay. Well, no, I think we'll settle for Mao Zedong, shall we? Okay. Right, what was Mao Zedong's influence on history, okay? Hi! Hello, Fizzy Juice! Did you just join Fizzy Juice? Okay. So we're currently making a top Trump card for certain people in history. We just did Winston Churchill, now we're going to do Mao Zedong, okay? Because Mao Zedong's influence on history, 8. Because Mao Zedong's biggest influence on history was because it changed who China was friends with, okay? Before Mao Zedong, before the Chinese Civil War, China was friends with the USA. Now, afterwards, China was enemies of the USA, and there's a whole Taiwan situation, and it could start World War III, which is why I largely agree with the 8 thing. Hi, Theo. Hello, Theo. Now, how good was Mao Zedong's strategy? Now, let's just put it this way. Mao Zedong's strategy was good enough to win the Chinese Civil War, but not good enough to take Taiwan, okay? Famously, the Taiwanese government, before they lost the Civil War, managed to prevent all the warships from falling in to Chinese communist hands, which is why the PLA didn't have a navy initially, even though they had a massive coast. And that's what made it so difficult for them to invade Taiwan. So, strategy 4. Well, that's the thing. He also sort of he starved loads of people. He did starve loads of people, but as far as I'm concerned, his starving loads of people means he's ranked lowly on political skill, okay? I think he's bad with economics. He was bad with political skill. But when I say strategy, I'm talking purely military strategy here. Although I do agree with you, it was nothing special, okay? He had the long march, okay? one of the things he did was the Long March. I want to mark Mao Zedong highly, actually. Oh, you're from Morocco, are you? Well, hi from Morocco. I have a Moroccan viewer. Wonderful. Has everybody heard of the Long March? Okay, basically, so the Chinese Communist Rebellion began in 1927. All right, what happened was the rebellion began in 1927, and the Chinese nationalist government tried 5 times to surround the communist forces and wipe them out. Okay, the first 4 times the communists were able to escape or win, but the 5th time they actually got surrounded. So the 130,000 Chinese communists tried to bust their way out of the encirclement, and only about 35,000 of them survived to fight another day. So they divided into 3 groups. The first 2 groups escaped north. The 3rd group, led by Mao Zedong, also drew the Chinese nationalist forces away. For like they constantly marched. For 9,000 miles they marched, leading the Chinese nationalists away and saved the Chinese communist movement. So then he teamed up with the Chinese nationalists to defeat the Japanese. So he teamed up with the Chinese nationalists. They defeated the Japanese, or at least they held out against the Japanese long enough for people like the Soviet Union and the Americans to come in and defeat Japan. And then he won the Civil War. So I do think his strategy was okay, but you guys seem to not have like a lot of. You guys don't seem to think he has a very good strategy. So I'm willing to a compromise. Okay, I want to give him a 5.5 to compromise between me and you lot. Is that okay? Oh, Fizzy Juice. Fizzy Juice wants him upgraded to a 7. He should be 5. Okay. Compromise. I'm gonna do a 6. Okay, because I'm kind of leaning towards Fizzy Juice as well. So let's do a 6. Okay. His military strategy was a 6. Okay. So, tactics. How good was battle tactics, okay? Now, for me, once again, now I don't know much about the individual battles he fought, but it's 7 away, okay. So let's go back to the Long March, okay? On the 5th encirclement attempt, the Chinese communists were surrounded, okay? And he, I think, bribed one of the warlords to let him break out and not to fight him, or maybe the warlord just had communist sympathies. Either way, I think because the warlord chose not to attack him, that's what allowed some of his forces, and then he personally led the group that drew everybody away. And that's why I think his tactics should also be decent. Maybe not flawless, like he's probably not Napoleon or something. Maybe he didn't lead the battles and it was just his generals. But so we'll see, okay? So has anybody got any alternate suggestions as to what his tactics are? So far the suggestions we've had are 7 or 8 and 3, okay? Okay, I'm kind of leaning towards 5 or 6. He was good for his role. I mean, yeah, he never lost power. Like any dictator who can die in office, if you can die in office, you're quite good, okay? So, because the majority of dictators get overthrown within the first 6 months because they can't control their key supporters and all their key supporters decide to just leave them. So, yeah, so let's say 6.5 I gave him. Now, next up, how was his propaganda skills, okay? Now, our top trump cards don't include a strategy for a segment for economic skills. And, you know, Mao Zedong's lucky because his economic mismanagement, like, starved an estimated 15 to 55 million people. So a lot. So, but how good was his propaganda, okay? Red Sun in the Sky is a banger. Is Red Sun in the Sky like a song or something? Is it the Chinese national anthem? 10. You think it's... Yeah, I mean, he was quite good at creating his cult of personality. So what is Red Sky in the song? Sun. Is it Red Sun Sky? Is it like the Chinese national anthem or something? Okay. Okay, so I've got like a laptop right here. I'm gonna log on. We're gonna listen to Red Sky in the after starving 500 million people. He's still considered a hero. It was half. I think I'm not sure if it was. It wasn't 500 million people. It was like 500 million people. Sorry, 50 million people, not 500 million. But yeah, it's still tens of millions of people. So 10. But I still, now that you've all mentioned Red Sky in the Sun, he's the #1 Chinese dentist dodger. Why? Did he not have good teeth? Or did he have bad teeth? Okay. So let's give him a 10, but it was 50 to 80 million. But before we give him a 10, I want to first listen to Red Sky in the Sun. Like, if you guys think it's so good, I kind of want to hear it. By the way, will I get copyrighted for playing somebody else's? Give me a second. Red Sky. Damn it! Give me a second. Damn it! Pause! I have the slowest computer ever. There's no copyright. Oh, he was a pedo. He was a pedophile. Okay. So there's no copyright laws in China. How the hell did he manage to maintain popularity if he was a pedo and a hunger inflictor? Okay. So yeah. No. Red Sun in the Sky. Do you think as a music video? Does the Chinese government have an official channel and like a music video? I wonder how long it would take them to get cancelled. Okay. I'll turn the volume up to full. Lyrics and translation. Okay. You know Tom Ann. I'm not sure if you can see the lyrics. Where's India in the map? India? Alright, somebody asked me where India is. India is here. Wow, this is a banger. This is good. This is. I feel like if this song wasn't hi guys, if this song wasn't written by the Chinese government, I'd enjoy it. This is good. Okay, I hope I don't get copyrighted for this. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm from Britain. I'm British. All right. So let's. All right, just for that, let's give Mao Zedong a 10. All right. So yeah. So. Finally, CCP ain't gonna copyright. I'm giving them free promotion. I literally just said their song was good. Okay. They're not gonna copyright strike me. Oh god, honorary Chinese citizen. Oh great, now my social credit score has been raised. Wonderful. Political skill. Okay. How good was Mao Zedong's political skill? Imagine if the FBI checks my browser history and sees that I've been listening to communist propaganda. His political skill was 10 as well. I mean, he was quite good. We got a 4 against a 10. Let's have this debate here. Because he did try multiple times to like dissolve government bureaucracy and make everything much less bureaucratic. And he failed in all of those times. Also, political skill. I feel like economic skill is sort of a sub. Which name is good? Dakash or Dinku? Well, I'm not sure because I'm not. That's not my name. So, killed his enemies, but not Sigma. 7 to 8. Because I feel like political. You need help. Okay. Because political. I feel like economic skill is a subcategory of political skill. Okay. Like, for example, what was I going to say? Yeah, like, and he didn't have a very good economic skill, so therefore I think we should rank him low for political skill as well. Has anybody got any more points to make? Like, for example, Bro just said go farm. Okay. Has anyone got any more points to make about Mao Zedong's political skill before we give him a ruling, a judgment? Has anybody got any more points to make? Well, he died in office. Like, the fact that he managed to die in office probably proves that he was quite good at keeping popularity. That's why, of all the suggestions, I think to give a compromise with everybody, should we give him a 7? No, 7.8. Is everybody satisfied with a 7.8? Well, he couldn't convince Taiwan to join. No, but I suppose that would be quite a difficult task. Like, if he could convince Taiwan to join, that probably would make him a total. That would make him just an absolute 10, an 11, an undeniable. Well, an invasion isn't really practical. I decided to give him a 7. I gave him a 7. He had the whole army at his disposal. Here's the thing: why would he invade Taiwan? Well, the USA did threaten to nuke China if they invade Taiwan. Like, I should say, I do think that strategic. I do think strategically, okay. China is probably a best decision not for China not to invade Taiwan, because China's trying to make a lot of friends right now, and invading Taiwan will make everybody hate them, and it might not even work. Like, the Russian invasion of Ukraine didn't work as well as they thought. Yeah, no one could convince Taiwan. Which is why, so yeah, I really don't. I think just from the Chinese government perspective, it's not a good idea to invade Taiwan. China's Africa, exactly, but like some countries in Africa might not want to be friends with, China if they don't trust them as much anymore, because no one's going to trust China after they invade Taiwan. Anyway, so that is officially a card from Mao Zedong. So we've done Mao Zedong and Winston Churchill. Well, we're having so much fun. Okay, who should we do next? We've done Churchill, Zedong. Who now? Cromwell and Bin Laden. Now that's the thing. I don't know a lot about Bin. I don't know. I know a tiny bit about Cromwell, but not much. And I know very little about Bin Laden. So if we choose like Osama Bin Laden, I'm gonna have to first confirm that you all know a decent amount about him, because I'm currently reading a book about by Asula. I'm currently reading a book about the Afghanistan war, and if we were to do Osama bin Laden after I finish that book, it will be much easier to do the stream. So I feel like if he got rid of the one. So I think we should either finish the book and then do Osama bin Laden. For now, let's do Cromwell, okay? I'm studying National 5 Modern Studies. Wow. Well, good for you, Fizzy Juice. I hope you pass your classes. For now, I think, shall we do Cromwell, okay? I promise you, I'll finish the book in a couple of days, then we can do Bin Laden. Where's my pen? Give me a sec. Aha. Okay. So, Cromwell, we're doing Cromwell, okay? Okay, we're doing Cromwell. What was Cromwell's influence on history? I personally don't think Cromwell did much. I'll give you a brief history of the English Civil War, okay? English Parliament, so the English Parliament and the English King falls out over whether or not Parliament is allowed to just levy new taxes without the King's permission, okay? Big civil war, civil war, okay? But Parliament wins, okay? So now Parliament's in charge. But here's the thing, Parliament's not in charge, because a guy called Oliver Cromwell used his genius political skill to become in charge of Parliament, and now Oliver Cromwell was effectively the complete and total dictator over Britain. He would be the dictator for his entire life before he died, and the monarchy was restored. And a few decades later, the same issue over whether or not Parliament was willing to levy taxes without the King's permission cropped up again, okay? So I think Oliver Cromwell's influence in history is going to be a 1 or a 2, frankly. Actually, no. I want to rank him a little bit more highly than that, okay? Because Oliver Cromwell, it did result, okay, when the monarchy came back after Oliver Cromwell, it meant the monarchy had a lot less power, okay? So I think we should give Oliver Cromwell a few points. Damn it! I just unplugged my ring light. I think we should give Oliver Cromwell a few points for reducing the power of the monarchy, if that's okay. So, how are we going to rank Cromwell, everybody? For influence on history. Anyone? Anyone? I'm just going to give him a 3.5. If nobody has any objections to that. Okay, so I gave Cromwell a 3.5 for influence history. What about strategy, okay? Now, with strategy, I'm not sure he commanded the entire war until the end, when it was basically won. However, for tactics, actually, you know what? Screw this. We're going to do Osama bin Laden. Changing the subject, we're doing Osama bin Laden. We're going to do Cromwell in a second. For now, bin Laden. So what was bin Laden's influence on history, do you think? What did bin Laden actually do? Because he did 9/11, right? Which started the war on terror. But apart from like starting the invasions of Afghanistan or the invasion of Iraq, what did he do? Okay, he got rid of the Rump Parliament, but he never took over Afghanistan. The Taliban took over Afghanistan. So, in everybody else's opinion, what do you think we should put for bin Laden's influence on history? Does anybody know? At all? So, does no one know anything about Osama bin Laden? Nope, nobody knows anything? Alright, in which case, we are going to move on. How good was his strategy, tactics, propaganda, or political skill? Because, okay, so we're doing 2 people at the moment. Osama bin Laden and Cromwell. If anybody, I can't see any comments right now. Maybe the comments are on the stream, I just haven't seen them. But chat, can you please tell me, does anyone have any ideas about what to put for Cromwell or bin Laden? Please? No? Okay. Well, I can't. I'm fine. I'll do some research. So if anyone has, maybe the stream just hasn't updated in a second yet. Because like, I'll give it a minute. Perhaps the stream's updated. Maybe I'll watch the stream on my computer to see if anybody's added anything. Please, can somebody like put if anybody knows anything? Give me a second. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, come on, come on. Aha! The comments don't work. So yeah, no, the comments haven't refreshed in a while on my phone. So I opened it on my computer. But now we should be fine. Okay. So let's restart. Okay. I can check the comments now. What does everybody think of bin Laden? Okay. What was bin Laden's influence on history? Yeah, sorry. Sorry, something's wrong with the chat. Does anyone know anything about bin Laden's influence on history? And I can see the chat this time. 6? Okay, we're putting him on a 6. Okay. And just out of interest, Fizzy Juice, why do you think he's a 6? So he's a 6. So what's he done? He's caused an invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan, but has that had any long-term consequences on history, do you think? the war on terror. I suppose it wasted like $23 trillion of the US national budget. Also made more people scared about religious extremism. You know, it remains to be seen, you know? It remains to be seen the long-term consequences. That's why I feel like we shouldn't do more recent people like Trump and Bin Laden, because we don't know what the long-term consequences are. Like, if it causes a major, if Trump causes a major civil war in the US, then his influence on history is going to be 10. We just don't know that yet. But so I'm going to rank. Okay, fine. I'm probably just going to give Osama bin Laden that 6th rank. Okay, great. So Osama bin Laden's strategy. What were the strategies like? Okay. Does anyone can anyone tell me anything about Osama bin Laden's strategy at all, or his tactics, for that matter? Anyone? Does anyone know anything about that? Okay. Does anyone know anything about his propaganda skills, or his political skill? Was Osama bin Laden good with any of those things? Well, he failed to get the Pentagon. I mean, yeah, but I suppose the reason he failed to get he almost got the Pentagon. The plane just glanced off the side of the Pentagon. It's because some of the people who were it was because the passengers of the plane tried to rise up against the terrorists and retook the plane. And while we don't know what happened in those final moments on the plane, they know that something caused it to crash. I think. Oh no, I got that one. Don't listen to me on that one. That was the plane that was supposed to hit the White House. He failed to get the Pentagon and the White House, but I'm not sure that's his fault. I think we should probably. I don't think we can blame him for that. But I think we should give him credit. He did manage to successfully organize the 9/11 attack. You know. So let's see. He failed to get the Pentagon. But, like, does anyone know anything about his role in the Afghanistan war? Because he almost got surrounded in the Afghanistan war. He only escaped because, for a reason that we don't yet know, the American generals just failed to fully surround the caves, and so he escaped into Pakistan. Sounds crazy out of context. Yeah, I suppose it does sound crazy out of context. So what do we say his strategy was like? Did he ever fight in how much of a role did Al-Qaeda play in, say, because Al-Qaeda has fought in the Syrian civil war, they fought in the, I presume, Afghanistan civil war. I think they probably fought in the Iraq war. Like, I don't know, but I think they fought in the Iraq war. Give him credit for 9/11. Okay, I don't mean credit like that, okay? When I said credit, I mean, like, it was quite impressive he managed to organize the attack. It's obviously not a good thing that he did 9/11, okay? Nobody take that out of context. They fought the USSR. Well, oh yeah, well, let's see. I'm just going to do a quick bit of Googling. Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Okay, so Osama bin Laden was a commander in the Osama bin Laden was a commander in the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. So clearly he's doing something right. I think we should probably rank him highly for strategy and tactics. So, final points, everybody. What are our suggestions for Osama bin Laden's strategy and tactics? Give him credit for 9/11. Yeah, he became in charge of Al-Qaeda in 1988. Stepped down in 2011, apparently. And when did he die? Wow, he died in 2011. I swear the US assassinated him in, like... Because I swear I remember reading a news article about how the US drone striked him in, like, 2020, 2022. but apparently he died in 2011, okay? It must have been somebody else. Like, maybe it was the next leader of Al-Qaeda after him. I'm curious about that. Okay. He was succeeded by Ayman al-Zawahiri. So yeah, okay. In 2022, in 2020, that's what I was thinking of. In 2022, al-Zawahiri, the next leader of Al-Qaeda after Osama bin Laden, was killed in a US drone strike. So, we're going to give Osama a 7 for strategy, and what are we going to give as tactics? What are his tactics like? Zabama. So for tactics, we'll also probably say, alright, let's just give him a 7 for tactics as well and be done with it. We've got a couple more things to do. Propaganda, political skill. Then we'll move on to Oliver Cromwell. And by the way, the reason that I'm looking this way is because my computer's that way. And I can only read the chat on my computer because for some reason my phone is lagging. So I'm not looking. There's a reason I'm not looking at the phone. I'm keeping my eye on the chat. Propaganda. What's the propaganda like? What was his propaganda skills like? So I think his main propaganda thing was 9/11, and here's the thing: the reason that supposedly the objective of 9/11, all right, was to break the myth of American invincibility. And while I don't think 9/11 itself broke the myth of American invincibility, or if there even was a myth of American invincibility, I think the Afghanistan war definitely proved that America could be defeated. Like, the way to defeat America, or frankly any superpower's war, is guerrilla warfare, okay? Spain defeated Napoleon with guerrilla warfare, the same way the US has lost several wars to no one joining him because of 9/11. But yeah, on the other hand, 9/11 probably made a bunch of people hate him, and that's why, like, ultimately, Osama bin Laden is probably not that well respected, and he did get himself presumably assassinated, unless he died of a heart attack or something. I'll give him a 3.9. I gave him a 3.9 because, anybody who can be in charge probably does something right. Finally, what was Osama bin Laden's political skill like? Does anybody know? What was his political skill like? I do think we should remake the political skill thing after I finish that book about the Afghanistan war. Okay, so his political skill, once again, his biggest political stunt he ever did was 9/11. I think 9/11, it just made people hate him. Like, it's the only thing he's famous for. Imagine being a famous person and the only thing you're famous for is hitting the Twin Towers, one time someone told me a joke about Osama bin Laden. Did you know Osama bin Laden holds the record for the most amount of books taken out of the library at any one time? They really didn't think he could take out that many stories. That's quite a funny joke, unless it's a bit tasteless and offensive. So what do you think his political skill was like? You know what, let's just get him over with. His political skill was a 5. We've done Osama bin Laden. By the way, I think my computer chat might be glitching as well. Yeah, okay, so no one's posted on the computer chat. So, by the way, the reason I couldn't look at my phone, I briefly stopped reading the chat for a second, was because of my phone chat started glitching. So I wonder if my computer chat started glitching as well. I refreshed the page and nothing happens. Put a 1 in the chat if everybody's posting. Actually, no. Okay. No one has talked for a while. Oh, it's okay. Sorry, I genuinely thought the chat was glitching or something. So we've done Mao Zedong, Winston Churchill, and Osama bin Laden. We're coming up to the 50th minute of the stream. How good was Cromwell? Now, Does anyone know anything about Cromwell? Or how good was Cromwell's strategy, tactics, political skill, or propaganda? Okay. So a bit tired. Okay. So his political skill quite decent. I want to give him like an 8 for political skill. What about propaganda, tactics, or strategy? Who are we making? Okay, so you're back. Oliver Cromwell. Yeah. We gave him a 3.5 for influence on history, or I did, because nobody else posted anything, and an 8 for political skill. Now, I'm not. Does anybody know anything about Oliver Cromwell? Okay, because if you don't, it's fine. Because I know about a little bit about his political skill and influence on history, but I don't know much about any of it else. So if nobody knows anything about him, that's fine. I can just put him to one side. After the stream ends, I'll do some research, and tomorrow we'll come back tomorrow and finish the job. But if anybody else knows anything about if anyone knows anything about Oliver Cromwell, please tell me. I'm going to quickly do a couple of quick Google searches. You know more modern history, to be honest? Yeah, I know more modern history. Like, modern history is probably most famous. Especially because, in general, we know more about modern history. Because the further back in history you go, normally, if you go far back enough in history, there's normally 1-2 books written by incredibly biased historians about it, and so we basically know nothing. So, modern history is just, a lot more well documented, and so obviously that's why we know. But the other reason we know a lot more about modern history is obviously because, it's just more relevant to today. Okay. So we have an issue, guys. My computer is about to run out of battery, and obviously I can't read the chat without my computer. So, and my computer drives in the room. So if you can just excuse me for like 2 minutes, I'm going to leave my mic here so you don't like dox my family or anything. I have a charger, but it's in another room. So give me 2 minutes to go get my charger. I'll be back in a second, okay? I'm back. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, I'm on charge. Okay, so it seems to me that nobody knows much about Oliver Cromwell, but it's okay. So, but it's all right. It's fine. We can come back to him tomorrow, another day. So, does anybody have any more requests? Okay, because in the next stream, I'll do more research and then we'll finish about Oliver Cromwell. Okay. Anyone have any more requests? Any more requests? Gandhi. Now, the issue with Gandhi is that Gandhi was because two of the things here are political tactics and strategy, And that's the thing. Tactics and strategy involves battling, and Gandhi is probably the most famous pacifist in human history. So it would be very difficult to do Gandhi, but it's okay. I have a way we can do it. Okay, we are going to write not applicable for Gandhi's tactics and strategy, and therefore, if you're playing top trumps, that way you'll never. So, and that way you just can't use them while playing top trumps. Okay. So we've written not applicable for Gandhi. So that means we only have 3 things we have to do, okay? Influence on history, propaganda, or political skill. What are we doing, ladies and gents? Sorry, I keep hitting my nose. It's unpolite. So with influence on history, now, Gandhi, India probably would have become independent without Gandhi, okay? So I'm not sure if Gandhi actually had that much of an influence on history, because I'm basically, the entire British Empire was getting independence, okay? Loads of people were campaigning for India to be independent. I'm absolutely certain that Gandhi did not make India go independent. Like, he probably helped make India go independent. He's probably famous for helping, but I don't think he. But there could have been a war if it wasn't there. Oh, that's a good thing. The other thing I want to mention about Gandhi is propaganda. Because Gandhi's propaganda skill is absolutely phenomenal, okay? Gandhi is remembered in history. He's gone down in history as being an amazing person, okay? He starved himself until the British got the hell out of India, okay? And then he just refused to do any fighting. He was non-violent. He wouldn't fight. And then he did the salt protest that got him arrested. For those of you that don't know, he marched his way to the coast to collect some salt from the sea. The problem is that the British didn't allow Indians to just do that. So they arrested him. Problem is, like, a massive crowd, like hundreds of thousands of people followed him there. It was one of the biggest protests in human history. It was amazing. So yeah, there could have been a war if it wasn't there. How much for a Trump train? Why? Okay. So but like influence on history, at least 5. So let's say there was a war, like a massive civil war between India. That would have set India back like decades, because a civil war, like any war, really harms a country in almost every case, okay? It'll set you back economically decades, all right? So I think the fact that there wasn't a civil war really helped India. So I think let's give in his influence on history to be a 5. Is everyone okay if I give him a 5? Wonderful. Actually, no. I gave him a 4.5. Here we go. Now, what was his propaganda? I think we should rate him quite highly on propaganda, just because of like how the fact that he's gone down in history as that much of an icon of Indian independence. It proves to me that he's good at propaganda. Okay, so what are we saying for his propaganda? What are we saying for propaganda? I want to give him like an 8 for propaganda. He probably took inspiration from the suffragettes. Like the suffragettes, they did hunger strikes as well. Do you think Gandhi took inspiration from them? I mean, yeah, but there's a difference. Politicians don't normally fall for propaganda, I feel like. 7, all right. Yeah, I gave him a 7.1. Right, I gave him a 7.1 for those of you who can't see. Now, what about what was his last political skill? Yeah, now Gandhi didn't really. I don't feel like Gandhi did much politics, so we might have not applicable for this one as well. What are we saying for Gandhi's political skill? Also a 7? Perhaps a 5? Got any ideas? Well, you convinced the UK to give independence, like not single-handedly. Like there were like loads of other people protesting, and also Britain needed money for like a war that was going on in like Palestine and Israel and places. But I still think we should rank him quite highly. and I'm not sure of that. I think that's probably largely propaganda as well. So I'm not sure why we should give him such a high score. But like, I'm tempted to give him a 5.5, perhaps. What do you think? What does everybody think? I want to give him a 5. 7. All right, let's compromise. We're going to do a 6, okay? Is that okay? By the way, if any of you disagree with these, it's fine. I post the top trump cards on the community tab. When you receive the top trump cards, you can edit them so that fit your opinions a little bit more. So that's fine. I mean, Fizzy Juice. I feel like we should take Fizzy Juice seriously because he clearly knows a decent amount. So we've done Cromwell, Gandhi, Churchill, Bin Laden, and Mao Zedong. Who should we do next? Wow, it's 6 o'clock. Time has flown by. Who should we do next then? Prigozhin. Oh god, I don't feel like we should do Prigozhin because Prigozhin's, although, because Prigozhin would be like, I don't think Prigozhin would have a single statistic less than a 5. Let's see. Fine, Prigozhin's quite a good one because it'll be really easy. Prigozhin is going to get so many low numbers in my opinion. Influence on history, pretty much nothing. Maybe he shook faith in the Russian government a bit, but on the other hand, Russia put down the revolt. So I kind of want to. I don't think you've ever given somebody a 0 for influence on history, but I feel like this time we're going to do Bolivar next. But I feel like this time we might well want to give Prigozhin an actual 0 here. What do you think? I'm quite ready to give him a 0 for half of these. Okay. What about his battle tactics? How good were Prigozhin's battle tactics? Because, he lost. Like, I know he had no chance of winning. Moscow was a heavily fortified position. There was absolutely no way Prigozhin could have successfully conquered Moscow. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so how good was tactics? I feel like most of Prigozhin's successes can be put down to Russia being inefficient and slow to respond. Okay? Like, and not really Prigozhin's being good at his job and all that. So tactics, I want to give him a 1. Do I have a pet? I used to have a cat and 3 guinea pigs. The first guinea pig died of something I don't know what it was. The second guinea pig got cancer. The third guinea pig had a tumor, but I think I was decently good at looking after them. Like, okay, if I had the guinea pigs again, I'd probably do a better job of looking after them this time, but I was decently good at looking after them. We also used to have a cat called Max who lived like 17, 18, 19 years. He got asthma, cancer, and eventually died as well. My sister had a hamster who died, and now my sister also has a hamster. Fizzy Juice 2. You want to give him a 3 for tactics. What are we doing for strategy, okay? For strategy, I'm upgrading his tactics to a 2. Prigozhin deserves a 2 for tactics. So, what was Prigozhin's strategy, okay? How good was his strategy? Because I don't feel like it was that good. Because I feel like his strategy was just actually no. Prigozhin did not have good strategy. His strategy was to march towards Moscow, realize that he had no chance of taking it, and fail to take it. Okay. Prigozhin's strategy was at best bold. By the way, I don't know what Prigozhin was thinking. I can't get into Prigozhin's thoughts, but I assume what Prigozhin believed was that the second his rebellion began, all the generals and key supporters would just join his side. But then he realized they didn't join his side, and he talked terms. Okay. So I think that was a strategy, in my opinion. So his strategy was bold but not good. Okay. You think? Fizzy Juice, what do you think? Because I feel like you're about to finish a sentence there, but you just haven't gone around to finishing it yet. Alright, you think 4. I think 4 is even quite generous to him. I want to give him like a 3.2 or something. Your previous comment, 3? Yeah, I agree. Prigozhin, I think even 3.2 is quite generous, but screw it. I genuinely think Prigozhin might be the worst card we've ever handed out. Okay? Like, let's go through all the top trump cards, okay? I think Prigozhin might be the most useless card ever. I actually know. The next person I want you to suggest, okay? Think of the next suggestion you're going to give. I want you to genuinely try and think of somebody who's going to get a lower score than Prigozhin. But moving on, how were his propaganda skills? Prigozhin's propaganda skills. I can only assume Prigozhin's plan was to get the Russian generals to side with him. Prigozhin, the only propaganda thing Prigozhin ever did, Prigozhin was quite popular, okay? After his death, he supported helping Texans separatists. I personally don't believe that. I think that sounds fake. That sounds like fake news to me. We'll see. Let me Google it. I mean, you did put apparently in your comment, so I can only presume you might not believe it as well. Now, I'll give some facts about Prigozhin. Prigozhin was quite popular, and I don't think Prigozhin was popular because he was like in any way good. I think he was only popular because Putin was unpopular. Like maybe okay, like quite often okay. The reason people are popular isn't because they're good in any way. It's because their enemies are unpopular. He rebelled in June 2023. Okay, I'm just going to quickly skim read the Wikipedia article about him. Yeah, it probably was. Okay, so actually, the Ukrainian main Directorate of Intelligence reported that it had not been able to confirm with certainty the death of Yevgeny Prigozhin. But no, even Zelensky says that he's dead. So, but I think propaganda might be Prigozhin's strongest suit here. I want to give Prigozhin a 4 for propaganda. Does anybody else think? Does everybody else agree that he gets a 4? Sorry about the space I'm making. Right, 4. Okay, yeah, 4, 4. Okay. Damn it, damn it. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I think I just fixed it. Please put a 1 in the chat. 1, okay. Because what happened was my microphone died, okay? So I unplugged my microphone, now I'm recording with the phone audio, so it's fine, okay? So what was the last thing you heard me say? Because I was explaining that Prigozhin probably had no chance of winning the war. Like if you're a Russian higher up or official, like your objective is to stay in power as long as possible, then I think Putin's a much safer bet than Prigozhin. Very few people were going to side with, Prigozhin. Yeah, sorry about that. You kept reinserting your headphones. Yeah, sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, I'll charge my mic, because I did charge my mic the other day, but I'll charge my mic when I get on. Actually, I can plug my mic in now. Okay, my mic. Right, my mic's on charge, it'll be ready for the next stream. Okay, so why do you need a wireless mic? Huh? I don't, it was just, the wireless mic was the cheapest one. I actually have 3 mics. 2 of them were wireless, one of them was wire full. So I might, actually I don't even need a mic to be fair. This audio quality is perfectly good, like, a mic barely improves it. By the way, did the audio quality change when I unplugged the mic? Quick question for everybody. Did the audio become worse the second I unplugged the mic? Just random question. Okay, either way, so moving on, Prigozhin's political skill, clearly not that, you didn't notice any change, exactly, okay? The only reason I'll ever need a mic is if I'm standing quite far away from the camera, and I need you to be able to still hear me properly. So, Prigozhin's political skill was, I'm not sure it was that good, okay? And then he just got assassinated. Well, it's better now. Apparently one person says the audio quality is actually better now, so I guess I'm not going to bother with a mic, okay? What was political skill? So I think Prigozhin's political skill, frankly, a 0. He's done nothing of merit, okay? Prigozhin did nothing of any merit, in my opinion, so I think a 1 or a 0 at best. The cheapest mic's not better than phone mics. Okay, sure. Yeah. So, yeah. 1, oh god, 1, let's be generous to him and give him a 1, right. So, who was the next person we were going to do? Who was the next person we were going to do? Bolivar, oh, let's do Bolivar, that's a good one. But, by the way, after Bolivar, we still have Cromwell to catch up with. And after we do Bolivar, I want everyone to take this opportunity to sit and think, okay? Can you think of anyone who would get a lower top trump score than Prigozhin? Because I genuinely think he... Okay, so I'm here. Hear that? I can hear a spraying noise. If you want me to shut... Hamza Yusuf, I've actually never heard of Hamza Yusuf. I might have to look him up so we can do him on the next stream. Right. Okay. So, hang on, the noise outside is really bothering me. I've got to shut my windows. Then we're going to do Bolivar, okay? Okay. Time to do Bolivar. He was the first Minister of Scotland until a few months ago. Oh, right. So, if I remember correctly, he was the guy who didn't like the Green Party, so he broke the coalition with the Green Party, and then he was surprised when the Greens stopped voting with him, and so he resigned. No, I'm not sure we can do much for him, though. I feel like the more modern you get, the more controversial it gets. I don't really want to get into controversial topics. Listen, I'll do some research, and for now, let's just do, because, if you really think about it, we could put Liz Truss as a card that's worse than him. Let's just do Bolivar for now. So, what is everything for Bolivar? Goodbye, Mikolaj Konopaki. What do I think about cockroaches? Well, what do you mean, what do I think about them? Like, I don't think they look nice. I don't know any personally. Sorry, I laughed at my own joke there. We'll find out. Hi, blah, blah, because Bolivar did... Sorry, I'm sorry about this. Bolivar led the Venezuelan revolution and got all of Colombia... Actually, I want to show everybody all the countries that Bolivar liberated from Spain, okay? So, let's go to that. So, I just got to... So... Bolivar started his military career rebelling against the Spanish in Venezuela, and he failed a lot, okay? But pretty soon, okay, he got a massive country called independence, okay? Pretty soon, Ecuador, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, parts of Peru, Brazil were under his control. In fact, Peru was effectively his puppet state, I think, or maybe it was under his direct control. And eventually, Ecuador, Venezuela, all declared independence, and Peru, all declared independence from Colombia. Then Panama declared independence, okay? And then it brought the modern countries we know today, okay? And you see, once he was in power, okay, he didn't do a good job of it. Okay? Like, Peru was launching a massive rebellion against him. Dang it. Oh, God. Yeah, Peru was launching a massive rebellion against him, okay? And he was wasting all the money, you know, or throwing away all the money to fight the war against Peru. And probably the most prudent decision would have been to, you know, you can't afford the war against Peru, so stop going to war against them. But it's too late now. It's too late. Instead, it was too. So in the end, he did have to give Peru independence. But he did it a lot later than he should have, because he thought he could retake Peru for some reason. So, not that good at strategy. But influence on history, okay? He was able to not only get all those countries' independence, but he stopped the counterattack. In fact, Bolivia back there, Bolivia was actually named after Bolivar. Bolivia was, in fact, initially called... Oh, yeah, they are disgusting. Bye, Fizzyjuice. Well, Fizzyjuice has left, but, so bye. So, yeah, Bolivia was initially called Bolivar, but a couple of days later they realised, you know, Rome wasn't called Romulus, and they changed it to Bolivia. So, what is everything? I'm not sure if anybody's still watching. It seems like everybody's gone, so I might as well leave. Oh, no, I have somebody else watching. Okay, it's worth leaving now. Alright, it's worth... let's continue the stream, okay? What do we think? I want to rate Bolivar's influence on history quite highly. How good do you think... how much influence on history do you think Bolivar had? Actually, you know what? No one's watching anymore, so I might as well go. Alright, so no one's watching. But goodbye.